So many dread that second sequel. What about this one? Welcome to my channel, KC. That's me, Carrie Chuck the Sledge Storyteller, here to talk about the wonderful world of storytelling and to open up discussion about how we can tell the best stories we can, talking about superhero movies, everything good and bad from a storytelling standpoint. So, Nolan's second Batman sequel. I can remember when they first announced the movie title and telling a fellow fanboy I knew at work who hadn't been following the movie news as I had, and told him that the Dark Knight sequel added only one word to that same title. He ran through 4 or 5 verbs trying to guess, and I told him, "You're on the right track." And I can remember the official website starting out with this single freakish image of Tom Hardy as Bane with the sound bite. All made up of voices from the general public who answered Warner Brothers' call to submit to them their recordings of that. I'll admit that I wish I had made the effort to get my voice in, albeit with the primitive voice recording equipment I had then compared to now. But how good is this sequel to the mega hit The Dark Knight? Now, I did point out last week I readily picked up on the logistical issues with The Dark Knight, and yes, The Dark Knight Rises has some big ones as well. Bruce Wayne gets bankrupted by Bane on Wall Street, which can't happen that way. A city the size of Gotham easily has over 30,000 policemen, so as Gordon put it, getting every available cop out to smoke out Bane from the underground, he wouldn't be sending the entire GCP there. Bruce puts on a knee brace and suddenly not only is he no longer a cripple, but is in the same Batman shape before letting himself languish for years in Wayne Manor's attic. That you can't help but feel like the CIA operative in the beginning is that inept for not checking under the hoods before he put Bane and his groupies in the plane before it finally got hijacked, so they can grab the imprisoned nuclear physicist Dr. Pavel, and the nuclear fallout just off the coast in the real world means nuclear winter for Gotham. So yeah, these are sloppy flaws, but it's no coincidence that some of the common complaints are missing from the bad section. So yes, I have counterpoints to the more well-known complaints. So we have Bruce Wayne's fellow inmate in that big pit prison saying that his back injury resulted in a misaligned vertebrae. He didn't say it was a spinal cord injury, which is what causes people to be paralyzed for life. Getting it realigned this way, by comparison with other stuff you're supposed to swallow in movies, not that much of a stretch in the real world. While Bruce's hallucination of Ra's al Ghul may have revealed vital information, it's no stretch to see that as his own mind putting all that together based on observations he had been making up to that point can totally happen. Bruce is finding his way to Gotham after climbing out of the pit, penniless, created some headcanon for me. It's easy for me to imagine a comic story that they could have released, giving us a story of what happens here where Bruce is on his own after breaking out of prison, who knows where. But imagine Bruce makes his way to the nearest village, finds a bounty on a criminal too clever for the local authorities, but Bruce uses his smarts to subdue that criminal, collect the bounty, have a passport forged, and catch a flight to Gotham. Anyway, Christian Bale, he comes through as always to be the Bruce Wayne or Batman he's meant to be in whichever circumstance he's in. Anne Hathaway does wonderfully playing a Selena Kyle who does acting, so you can say that she's acting within her acting, but her street smarts, her inner conflict, her hard luck, needing a break in life, all come together and give us a well-rounded character. Tom Hardy, like many other character adaptations in the Dark Knight trilogy, I had to adjust to the Bane interpretation. I was simply preparing for the basic Mexican wrestler outfit Bane is so well known for wearing, but yeah, that wouldn't blend well with Christopher Nolan's theme. He's convincingly cocky, authoritative, and intimidating. Gary Oldman, I liked his performance as Gordon here more than the previous two. The events at the end of The Dark Knight leave him conflicted, and he finds himself overwhelmed with Gotham's dire situation and keeps the courage to absolutely keep going. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, the man's career was growing right at this point, and it shows he's the principal cop looking for solutions to the big challenges in front of him, Gordon, and Batman. He played it brilliantly. Morgan Freeman once again shines as the techno-genius Lucius Fox, who helps Batman in every which way he can, and once again, with his commanding voice, he makes technobabble sound interesting. Marion Cotillard, okay, the death moment was pretty half-hearted, but for the first time, you buy into her being on the good guy side as Miranda Tate, and when her true self emerges as Talia al Ghul, you get the gut punch Christopher Nolan was aiming for, and she's just as convincingly devilish. Michael Caine, in his limited performance as Alfred, again brings plenty of fatherly emotion to the role. Matthew Modine as the feeble cop Foley, he's the kind of jerk you believe found the right connections with coattails to ride into his leadership position. You watch him wanting to punch him in the mouth until he makes the right decision and dies a hero's death in the end. While there were some plot holes, the premise was still strong, like with The Dark Knight and the logistics surrounding the Joker's threats against the hospital and ferry boats. I can appreciate the stakes enough for the weight that they can bring into the conflict. What makes me love this movie so much is that it nails a beloved story trope. The hero overcomes all after hitting rock bottom. So well played out, with Bruce knowingly picking a fight where he's overmatched, and the resulting consequences having him scratching and crawling his way up. The subsequent fight scenes keep you on the edge of your seat. We get a great rematch between Batman and Bane, then a shocking reveal of which side Miranda was on. The climactic action scenes were tense and loaded with heavy-duty, pulse-pounding mechanical combat. The big climax makes you stop and think about how, if he ejected, how fast he would have to go, or the kind of shielding that the presumed escape pod would require in order to escape that blast. Now, I've seen and read enough to know that Christopher Nolan's official word is that Batman survived that blast, and that moment when Bruce fulfills Alfred's wish to find him in that Italian restaurant, that's a bona fide Bruce Wayne and a true blue sweet ending. While it is indicative that Batman had a very short crime-fighting career, knowing that there had been several other live-action iterations where he was Batman long-term, I'd say it's a good thing to have just one iteration where he actually does find peace. Overall, The Dark Knight is loaded with depth, emotion, strong conflict, heavy stakes, and warm resolution. That's my insight on The Dark Knight Rises. Agree? Disagree? Something I left out? Please let me know in the comment section. If you like this video, please click like. If you like this channel, please click subscribe or follow me on Instagram. Thank you for watching. As always, the link to order Sledge number 1 and Sledge number 2 is in the description below. Available on both digital and paper formats through indieplanet.com. Kindle has available Sledge number 1 in both formats, so you can look there. Sledge number 3, we're still underway. I'm very happy with what Tiago shows me and his progress on the project. Looking forward to get that out to you. And as always, let's find harmony with each other. Let's make friends. Let's not look for enemies. Everyone be safe, and God bless.